We have just about a week to go until Donald Trump has the deadline to pony up over $83 million to E. Jean Carroll. And maybe he'll do that. Maybe he'll refuse to, but even if he does it, we don't know exactly where he's going to get the money from. He's been talking in the civil fraud judgment of nearly $500 million that he's having trouble with getting the money. So there's a lot of concerns about that. And David, I know you have some concerns about perhaps national security implications of how he's going to fund this. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, first of all, Donald may file personal bankruptcy because that would get him a stay of all of these proceedings, the civil proceedings. And he's just focused on getting to the day after the election in November. And he can sell that to his followers easily. Hey, listen, I'm very rich. I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire, but they made me do this. The deep state and the liberal Marxist fascists made me do this. And we'll know on March 12th whether that happens or not. Now, one of the things Donald could do is borrow money that appears to be from a bank. But in fact, it's what's known as a back-to-back loan. Some oligarch from Russia or America, the Saudi prince, the murderous MBS, somebody goes to the bank and says, look, we'll make a deposit of $600 million. If Donald Trump doesn't pay, we'll pay off the loan because you can take it. And there would be no record of this. It would be sort of an understanding. There'd be a private record, but not a public one.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait. Click join now on YouTube.
Think about that. A president of the United States who's in hock for $600 million, because it's going to be the two judgments plus a margin above that to cover interest. That's a very scary prospect. And by the way, if Donald Trump had $10 billion, as he claims, this would be an annoyance. I mean, it would, that's all. He doesn't have it. He's never had it. Not since I first revealed he wasn't a billionaire, 34 years ago now.
Well, in the meantime, he has sold those shoes, so it's possible that he became one thanks to that and the NFTs.
You can now get them for only $99 on eBay.
Really? Okay, I'm still not going to.
Price.
If we get it down to like $5, maybe as a joke, I'll buy some. But at $100, they're still overpriced. So you said that we might have some trouble theoretically tracking some of this. Would, for you, especially the civil fraud judgment payment, if he doesn't sell a building, would you consider that to be a really bad sign in terms of how he's generating that money?
Yeah, I don't see, he's either got to sell or put out a big loan on a building, but Donald has a history of hidden loans. When he bought Mar-a-Lago in 1985, he told everybody he paid cash for it. I have in my files here in this office the letter from Chase Bank saying, here's your mortgage for 125% of the purchase price, and we will never file that in the public record. New York banking law says you must file it in the public record, but they never did. And so what other obligations does Donald have that we don't know about? Well, I'll guarantee you this, there are some that exist.
You know what I love about that? And I had never even heard that before. We showed in that clip Alina Habba talking about the lawfare against Trump, and they always pitch it as this campaign that's founded in nothing, even when it's things like the classified documents where nobody doubts that he stole them. He literally brags about having stolen them. When you reveal things like that, it's a reminder that I don't care if Tish James spends the rest of her life investigating him. She will never turn up all of the shady stuff that him and his family have done. And so if anything, the lawfare has been utterly unable to reveal so much of what he's done. And thankfully there are journalists like you who are investigating that and have been for some time. So anyway, I appreciate
John,
that.
one of the things we should worry about is in the Florida case for the stolen documents, Jack Smith has hinted very strongly that Donald Trump has tried to sell our national security secrets. I wrote a piece at DC Report in the summer of 22, so a year and a half ago, saying Donald Trump doesn't know anything about national security, but he knows value. And we know that he showed documents to people. We know that he revealed deeply held, very important and expensive secrets. So I think there's a very good chance that Donald Trump has, in fact, already sold his country out. And we may not be able to prosecute him because to do so would force revelations about intelligence sources and methods that would put lives in danger or put you and I in danger.
I obviously I have speculated about that. The thing about that is that if he did that, if he sold secrets to a foreign leader, that would seemingly open him up to the most obvious and easy blackmail imaginable.
Absolutely,
by the foreign leader.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, fun stuff to potentially have to deal with if he becomes president once again. In any event, that's where we're gonna have to end it. But it was a pleasure to have you back on. Where can people follow your work? I mean, I know DC Report. You've got a book. Where can people follow what you're doing?
Well, I've been writing for a lot of people. The Nation, the New Republic. I have a piece in the Prospect shortly. I try to write for a whole variety of different locations, but DC Report, which I co-founded and other people in LA now run, is a really good place. We cover what politicians do, not what they say.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you back on. Have a good one.
Take care.